Okay, I am ready to play some Great Ace Attorney. It is burning hot, like a steam locomotive. From here, yes. Trial. Okay, we got a trial today. Finally. However, we really don't have any evidence of what happened at all, probably because I don't think there is any evidence that the man that we're defending did anything wrong. So, hey, I guess we're gonna find out. I honestly don't know what to expect. Everything that we did last week in terms of investigation didn't matter. Totally inconsequential. The only thing we know about is this bookstore receipt. I think that's the only information we got. Yeah, that's literally all we got. Okay. We get paid whether he's guilty or innocent, right? Yeah, I mean, I guess. But, you know. Old Bailey, defendant's antechamber, the 20th of February. Well, I never expected this. Who'd have thought we'd be back here again so soon? We are on a study tour of Great Britain with the intention of learning the country's legal practices. In order to research the latest court procedures here, we need as much court experience as possible. Well, yes, I suppose that's true, but for the person in the dock, it may well be his or her one and only time in court, and it could be life-changing. In which case, treating it as research may seem a little crass. Oh, when you put it like that, you're quite right. Good morning! I don't know who said that, so... Oh, it's you. Ah, Mr. Natsumi. Good morning. Oh dear, are you alright? Your eyes are terribly bloodshot. The early bird catches the worm, as they say here in Britain. Yes, I've heard that expression. But I really don't want to catch a worm. So I tried desperately not to wake up early! I was so worried I couldn't catch a wink! And now, I'm absolutely exhausted as a result! Do all literary people take things so... literally? Thank you for putting your faith in us today, Mr. Natsumi. I wish I had 9 lives! My whole future hangs in the balance! I'm... too terrified to tremble! Really? Because I can feel tremors in the floor. I can't do this! I can't take it! Although, locum student Mr. Johnson Esquire. Yes? I caught a glimpse of the public gallery as I walked by the courtroom. It looked like the opening night of the opera. There were so many people. I had no idea my case was such a notorious affair here in London. Oh, neither did I. Do you know why that might be, Miss Susato? I'm sorry, Mr. Johnson, but I have no idea. So that all-knowing look on your face is just coincidence then, is it? Don't hide the truth from me! It's because of the Reaper, isn't it? Lord Van Zeeks? Is that right, Miss Susato? I purchased as many different newspapers as I could find this morning, and yes. Lord Van Zeeks is on the front page of every one. I knew it. Sometime after the prosecutor was dubbed the Reaper of the Bailey, he stopped appearing in court, it seems. It's been several years now, in fact, until the day before yesterday. What's the shape/symbol in his eyes? I think it's just... Was there a symbol? I didn't notice his eyes changing. Oh, I can't see it blown up. I think it's just scribbles. I thought it was just scribbles, but maybe I'm wrong. I thought he was about to do the Thriller dance. Yeah, right? It was close. Yes, Inspector Gregson told us something similar, didn't he? The trial 2 days ago marked Lord Van Zeek's return to the courtroom after a very long hiatus. The trial of Magnus McGilded. Ugh, what a harrowing experience that was. And then the man burned to death. I believe that appearance made even greater waves here in the capital than today's. But we wouldn't have realized, of course, having only just arrived in the country. Why is the Reaper back in the Bailey so soon, for what appears to be a mundane murder? That's the question the papers are asking, and they're all speculating various answers. Mundane? Mundane? It's the most significant saga of the century to some of us! Oh dear. I meant no offense, Mr. Natsumi, but that is how the papers are describing it. Well, lest we also forget the fact that it could spark an international incident. Obviously, the reappearance of this infamous prosecutor has caught people's attention. But there's another blatant similarity with the trial of 2 days ago. Yes, I agree. Locum student Mr. Johnson Esquire! It's you! Yeah, I think that's just the design of his eyes. I don't think it's, a symbol or anything. I'm looking into his eyes. Me? Well, I suppose that's true. Both times it's you who stands against this legendary prosecutor. It can only mean that you're friends with the Reaper! Please. I don't rub shoulders with Deathbringers. I'm afraid there's really only one other explanation. It can only be another example, Mr. Johnson, of your uncommon bad luck. Thanks for that. Oh, this is just my luck. Why must I be represented by a man with such frail fortune? By the least lucky lawyer alive! Well, let's not forget that it was you, Mr. Natsumi, who asked me to represent you. Wow, get fucked. Yes, it's true that I'm just a student, new to London, with little in the way of experience, or skills, or luck. But I promise you this. I will fight in your corner until the bitter end, and I will believe in you, Mr. Natsumi. Oh, benevolent locum student, Mr. Johnson Esquire! You're not alone here with us, Mr. Natsumi. Whatever happens, we will always be on your side. Oh, benevolent, non-locum assistant, Miss Mikotoba Esquire S. Esquire S. I am in your debt forever! I shall never forget this great kindness for as long as I live! Mr. Natsumi, counsel for the defense. The court session's about to begin. Kindly make your way into the courtroom at once. You don't get to be called Hamburger Johnson without some luck. That's also true. That's very true. All right then, Mr. Natsumi, it's time. Let's go. Yeah. Yes! Can I drink this tea yet? This is it. I'll wait a little bit more. My second appearance in a British courtroom. And my second trial against the Reaper. I hope you're watching over me, Kazuma. Because this time, I won't let my faith waver. I'll believe in my client to the last. Just like you believed in me. I believe I can do this now. I'm ready for this fight. He's ready. Old Billy courtroom. Trying out the Wounds of Eventide DLC for Blasphemous. Oh, nice. Oh, cool. Huh. Oh, adds a quality of life thing that'll probably help new players. Oh, that's good. Quality of life things are always great when they add those, like, afterwards. Like, they listen and they're like, oh, yeah, okay, maybe we could fix that. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, no. That fucking wife from the last week is in the fucking jury. Oh, boy. Okay, she's an asshole. Yeah, of course she is, I know. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is fully prepared, my lord. The defense is ready, my lord. This fucking Dracula over here. The Nipponese are truly a fascinating breed. This fucking racist Dracula over here. Sorry, what? Lord Strongheart has told me all about you. That you were a student who arrived in London but 2 days ago. A mere amateur. Do you have a point? Being a compatriot, you feel compelled to try and help the accused, I suppose. Typical Nipponese arrogance. Forgive me, but I do not believe arrogance is an appropriate description. Susato-san. After all, at our previous encounter, the defendant was found to be innocent. Fucking wine bitch over here. Very true, and a most fascinating, if dark, trial it was too. The tragic conclusion came later, of course. Oh yeah, also murderer. Here's to the acquitted and his unfortunate, violent end. You bitch. Welcome back, Eula Dracula. Hey there, Sai, welcome in. Yeah, blood the preferred drink of vampires everywhere. Blood wine. Thank you, counsels. I see both sides are in fine fettle. Fine fettle? Sai, happy Tuesday. Hope you're doing great. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, are you ready to carry out your duties here in court as impartial members of the public? Oh, this fucking guy, too, is back. Okay. You never know when you might be down on your luck, but I believe in fair play for everyone. Isn't his name Bruce Fairplay? Isn't that guy's name? Well, I must warn you, I'm rather more ruthless than I appear. Oh, well, not me. What you see is what you get. I'm a peace-loving fellow. I'm afraid to say I think it's quite possible that mustached foreigner did the deed. Come on, what are we waiting for? No doubt he did it anyway. Sorry, didn't quite catch that. Very well, let us proceed. Your opening statement, if you please, Lord Van Zeeks. Very recently, Great Britain signed an alliance with the rising power in the Far East. The accused in the dock today is a student from that same land, a certain Mr. Soseki Natsumi. And while our country has extended this foreign student the warmest of welcomes, regrettably, the kindness has not been returned. In fact, this student is accused of a most sinister act. Rude. Of plunging a knife into the back of an innocent woman who was doing nothing but walking down the street. A knife crime? I tell you from bitter experience, those are the worst. Bloody oath they are. Just look at that sallow complexion and short stature. He's one of those dreadful Japanese. Wow. Come on, let's get this over with. With me now, everyone. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, didn't quite catch that. Red card for jury. Only 10 people live in London, so the jury repeats itself a bit. Uh-huh. Pray, forgive the discourtesy of smashing my hallowed chalice here in this great chamber. Allow me to call the first witness to the stand. Very well. Bailiff, lead the inspector in, please. I'm pretty sure there was some racism going on last week, too, with this lady. With the yeah. Yep. Man, that last investigation was so, like, so terrible. It was bad. I think it makes me upset, too, that it wasn't even, like, constant, like, they could have not had that entire storyline and still gotten across the fact that this lady is a terrible person who's in the jury. Man, whatever. Okay. Hopefully she gets what's coming to her here. I hope so. I hope so. Your name and occupation, please. Yes, sir. Tobias Gregson, Detective Inspector at Scotland Yard. Would you please summarize the events of the case for the court, Inspector? The victim is thought to be a young woman in her 20s by the name of Olive Green. I beg your pardon, Inspector? Thought to be? Yes, having been stabbed in the back by her attacker's knife, the victim fell unconscious. That was 3 days ago now, and she's been comatose ever since. Wait, what? We didn't know any of this! We investigated, like, for 2 days! I mean, I guess it was the same day. But, like... we didn't even know who the person was who didn't even get killed. Didn't even get killed. Yeah, what the fuck? What the fuck have they sprung on us here? Okay, what? So they don't even know who she is for sure? Comatose, I see. But her life is not in danger. Fortunately for the Eastern student, the charge will not be murder. Ray, elaborate on the details, Inspector. Sir, if I could ask everyone to look at this street map. Indy, right? Yeah, turns out it was always the Dark Age of the Law. Oh boy. As I mentioned, the incident took place 3 days ago around 5 in the afternoon. It happened on the pavement running alongside Briar Road, a wide thoroughfare for horse-drawn vehicles. It had not been long since stopped snowing as the victim, Miss Green, was walking down the street. Out of the blue, she was approached from behind by the accused and stabbed in the back. The court has failed to present this discovery to the defense. This is in clear violation of the law, requested immediate mistrial. Yeah, but Hamburger Johnson's a baby and doesn't think he can do that. He has no sway with this court. He's up against the Reaper, and it's the Dark Age of the Law. Same as it ever was. Luckily, the young lady's life was spared, and she's currently being treated in one of the city's hospitals. But being unconscious as she is, we've been unable to take a statement from her, of course. This is the case file with everything we know about the victim so far. Thank you, Inspector. The court will accept the documents as evidence, if you please. Okay, we should go read this. Let's finish this dialogue line first. This dialogue tree. Oops. What of the weapon that was used? Sir, I have that here. It was removed from the victim's back. Ouch. That big thing's starting to make me scared to walk down the street now. With a heavy blade like that, almost anybody would have been able to stab the poor woman. Even the scragged-looking Soseki-san, I suppose. A common or garden jackknife, I would say. Rather nondescript. Thank you, Inspector. The court accepts the blade as evidence. The jackknife has been entered into the court record. Okay. Now then, what do we know of the motive? Money or valuables, I presume? From what we can tell by looking at the woman's possessions, it seems like she's a poor student herself. Hard to imagine she would have anything much worth pinching, my lord. I see. Well, in that case, are we looking at some deep-seated resentment towards the victim? I'm afraid I couldn't say. Apart from visiting secondhand bookshops, the defendant, Mr. Natsumi, doesn't appear to get out much. At this moment in time, we haven't been able to establish any sort of connection between him and the victim.
Yes!
Yes! I love him. He's so cute. If theft and grievance had been ruled out as the motive, what reason could Mr. Natsumi possibly have had for stabbing the young woman? Yeah, strike a pose. Yet you arrested the man in spite of that, in a totally unjustified and heavy-handed way.
Objection!
The fuck? What a dick! Pray forgive the discourtesy of flinging a freshly uncorked bottle into the public gallery. But your words have soured its hallowed bouquet. For it is you, my learned friend, who's being heavy-handed here. What? Van Dyck. Van Dyck's? Yeah. Scotland, hold on. Scotland Yard does not arrest people without good cause. That should be beyond question. Inspector Gregson, the prosecution calls for your formal testimony. Explain to the court precisely why the constabulary came to arrest the Nipponese student. Yes, sir. Okay. Witness testimony! As I said, it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon when the incident occurred, and there was an unusually light fog. Visibility was reasonably good, and there was no one else about but the victim and the accused. Out of the blue, the victim was stabbed from behind and subsequently collapsed on the pavement. The accused ran off, scattering his belongings all over the floor. Those being a number of old books he just bought. He was on his way home from a bookshop, it seems. It was just a matter of working out who the books belonged to as we found the bloke to arrest him. Okay. Old books, you say? My lord, I have a photograph here of the scene of the crime taken immediately after the incident. Okay. Yes, I can clearly see the books to which you are referring. I will take that photographic print as evidence, please, Inspector. This fucking bitch! You Nipponese are a spineless breed, too cowardly to admit defeat. Denying everything despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary. Well, Forgive me, Lord Van Zeeks, but the defendant is not denying everything as you put it. What are you doing, Miss Susato? Do go on. Mr. Natsumi has admitted to playing some part in the incident. Isn't that right, Mr. Johnson? Sorry. Well, now you mention it. When we visited him in the prison yesterday, he did tell us what had all happened. Hey there, Anthony! Welcome in! Hello! Hope you're doing great today. Happy Tuesday. I'm doing pretty good. Just, playing some Ace Attorney here. Mr. Narndog is also acceptable. Sorry, I haven't replaced his name with Hamburger Johnson enough today. So I'm still getting into it. We'll get used to it as the day goes on. As I was walking along the accursed pavement, I could make out the sole silhouette of another ahead of me. A woman, wearing a green overcoat she was, and just as I went to overtake her, she suddenly let out a little scream and collapsed onto the cold hard slabs of stone at my feet. I was terrified. I had to get away from there. So I ran as fast as my legs would carry me back to my accursed lodgings. Okay. A green overcoat. Well, that's exactly what the woman in the print is wearing. Oh my, a photographic print in full color. What will the world come up with next? The defendant has done nothing more than admit he fled the scene of a terrifying incident. That does not mean he's guilty of the heinous crime of stabbing the woman in the back. Heinous. There was nobody else there at the time, just the two of them, the victim and the accused. In other words, there was nobody else who could have possibly stabbed the woman. The fact that the accused concedes. It seems this cross-examination could be pivotal, counsel. Proceed, please. Yes, my lord. Nothing for it. I have to use this cross-examination to turn the tables here. It's our only chance. He has to do a turnabout! Okay, I'm gonna examine what we have in our court record first. Before we start cross-examining here. Because there might be some info in here that we missed because we just got a whole bunch of new stuff. So let's talk it over with our legal assistant, aka the brains of the operation. Young woman rendered unconscious following a stab wound to the back, olive green, female, stout build, early 20s. Pavement of Briar Road. Raleigh Beat? Raleigh Beat? Okay. The victim remains unconscious. Her name was gleaned from her personal effects. Other details are unknown. Apart from the single stab wound from the large knife, no other signs of injury were observed. The assailant was seen running away by the reporting officer and was successfully arrested the next day. Okay. Can't find anything out of place. Oh. Oh, okay. Pop that knife open. Oh, look here, Mr. Johnson, just at the tip. A small piece of the blade appears to be missing. You're right. Well spotted, Miss Susato. I wonder what could have happened to it. Yes, you don't think it could still be lodged in the victim, do you? Oh dear. I hope not. That sounds terribly painful. Yeah. Well, only the tip's missing. Okay. Anything else? No. Okay. I don't think there's anything we can examine with a magnifying glass here, honestly. Okay. We got no information from that. So I guess we're just gonna cross-examine. As I said, it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon when the incident occurred, and there was unusually light fog. A light fog, you say? Well, light for London. You can see the opposite sides of the street for once. Not much further, though. That's light, is it? Around these parts, yes. Not something I'd expect a Japanese fellow like yourself to know, of course. I've read that London's famous for its fog. But in my country, people usually imagine that gives the city a rather beautiful appearance. How quaint. Yes, well, it's not something us Londoners tend to romanticize, as I expect you can appreciate. I see. At this time of year, the fog causes a large number of accidents, especially when it's heavy. Sometimes you can't even see your own hand at the end of your arm. Indeed. The other day, I was very nearly trampled by horses before I could see the carriage they were pulling. Susato-san and I should definitely remember to stop, look, and listen. However, on the day that concerns us, the fog was somewhat lighter than usual. A fact no doubt lamented by the accused. Chipman! Yeah, hey! Hey, Plum. Let's go get Sonic. Give me a second. How did they know it was him if they didn't arrest him on the spot? Exactly! The cop, I'm pretty sure the cop was just like, oh yeah, that guy did it. Because he's a fucking racist. Also a cop. Okay, there we go. Every time I see this character, I want to eat some chips. Fries, specifically. Fries. I actually, I'm getting some groceries tomorrow, and, I found this, like, vegetarian or, like, vegan fish. So I'm gonna try it out, because I want to see what the texture's like and see if I like it. But it's not actually made with fish, but it's supposed to be like fish, so we'll see. We'll see how I feel about that. Dirtfish? No. Hopefully it doesn't taste like eggplant. I actually don't know what they use as the ingredient. I'll find out when I get it, but... channel your inner English? I can't. Oh wait, do you mean the chips? I don't like fish. His head looks like a chip. That's probably intentional. Okay. He is Chip? He's Gregson. I forgot what his first name is already. I think it's perfectly fine to sub the fish for chicken tendies. That is true. That is true. I love chicken tendies. Yes. Anyway, I'm excited to try this fake fish that I'm getting. Visibility was reasonably good, and there was no one else about the victim. No one else about but the victim and the accused. How are you able to state that with any certainty? Quite simply, my learned friend, because that is what the witness to this crime have told us. Sorry, witnesses. Yes, Inspector Gregson mentioned the witnesses yesterday, didn't he? That's right, one of them is a policeman, I believe, from Scotland Yard. That is correct, ma'am. Then we must hear their testimony. The prosecution will, of course, call them to the stand, should it be necessary. But wait a minute. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon, in the middle of winter, it would have been dark already. No matter how light the fog might have been, no one could have seen... I'm unaware of the situation on your tiny island in the east. But here in the capital city of Great Britain, all main roads are illuminated in the night by gas streetlights. Ah. The prosecution believes there would have been ample light by which to witness the crime. Wait, here in London, for the first time in history, mankind has completely conquered the darkness. Which means we really need to hear those witnesses' statements. If I could just get through the fog of this cross-examination, maybe we'll be able to. It seems the counsel for the defense is taking stock. Continue with your testimony, Inspector. Hey, GameCube! Welcome in. Chip? So am I supposed to pronounce that Damage? Chip Damage. How's my day? I'm doing pretty good. Doing pretty okay. Pretty good today. Got a workout in this morning, which was good. Now my arms are sore. But other than that, I'm good. Yeah, I know, right, Urek? Out of the blue, the victim was stabbed from behind and subsequently collapsed on the pavement. From behind, you say? That's right. You can see from this print. Yes, quite so, Inspector. The handle of the weapon is clearly protruding from the victim's back. And you say this poor woman, Miss Green, remains in critical condition? Comatose, no less? I'm afraid so, my lord. Yes, she's being treated at Bart's. I was hopeful she'd come round before the trial started so I could take a statement, but it wasn't to be. Yes, that is indeed a pity. It would have been most illuminating to hear the victim's own account of events. Luck is on your client's side, it seems. On the contrary, my client has been exceedingly unlucky. Your force of tone is seriously undermined by those disturbingly wide eyes, I'm afraid. Rude! Finally ordered myself a rowing machine. Oh, nice. That's awesome. Yeah, I don't know. I freaking hate working out from home. Like, I hate it so much. I've been trying to, like, force myself to do it, but it's, like, it's really hard for me to stay motivated. Because, like, I usually am motivated by either, like, going to a gym, for example. But I can't do that right now. And probably not for a while, so I have to deal with it and try to work out from home, and it sucks. It sucks. I love berries and cream. Bum 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 ba da ba. Hold on. Oh, it's loading. Discord, please. Oh. Indeed, that's perfect. It's perfect. It's perfect. Yep. Thank you. Good meme. Good meme. I think you killed me in it. Yeah, I think so. Yep. It's very, very good. Very good. I lose all motivation if I'm on a treadmill or bike. Rowing, however, I find to be something I can just do. Yeah. I wish I had, honestly, if I had more space to be able to work out in, I would have no problem, like, practicing, like, patterns in Taekwondo, but I just have such limited space that I'm, like, I just gotta, like, work out in this tiny area, so I can't, like, do a whole bunch of moving around. It, bleh. Sucks. But, you know, I'm coping. I'm coping. Yeah. It's 8 feet long, 2 feet wide, but I can close it in half when I'm done. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, like, I have, like, a foam mat that I pull out to work out on, but, like, I can collapse it and just put it back under the couch afterwards, which helps, but still, eh. I wish I had my weights. I wish I had my weights, and I wish I had space. Yeah. You're kind of screwed being in Toronto. It's not like you can get a large place there anytime this century. I know, right? Just completely fucked. Totally fucked. Everyone is fucked. Like my building has spaces that I can work out in, but not in the middle of a pandemic. Everything's closed. Everything's closed right now. And I don't feel safe doing that, especially because, like, the amount of times we get emails about people testing positive for COVID in the building, and then the fact they have to, like, go and disinfect everything again is, like... Yeah. Yeah, it's something. Oh yeah, you know what, I should finish, let's finish doing this, and then we should take a break, because I just realized it's 3:50. Okay. The accused ran off, scattering his belongings all over the floor. Oh, oops. Nope, go back.
Hold it!
Mr. Natsumi's belongings? I think you'll find it's all there in the photographic print of the crime scene. Yes, the 3 books on the floor. That's right, my lord. Secondhand books they were. Irreparably damaged after falling in the snow, of course. The accused could easily have carried all 3 books in one hand. Which means... his other hand would have been free to wield a knife, for example. Why would anyone do that? Why would you stab someone when you're carrying a whole bunch of books in the other hand? He's very clever, isn't he? What do you mean? He's made it extremely hard for you to assert that Mr. Natsumi had his hands full with his books. He's managed to close the one avenue of escape we might have had before we even knew it was there. You mean to say the defendant was holding his belongings as he thrust the knife into the woman's back? That must be what happened, my lord, yes. Having a free hand's illegal in London. That's why Gregson never puts down his fish and chips. Well, I mean, I assume his hand is holding the gavel. Oh no. And those being a number of old books he just bought, he was on his way home from a bookshop, it seems. Right, Urek? The defendant apparently visits a secondhand bookshop on a daily basis. Yes, so I understand. A shop full of old English literature. I commend the accused on the lofty subject matter of his scholarly attention. The bloke's room was stacked floor to ceiling with those musty old books. Oi!
You got a license for this Twitch stream.
Oi! Sync! Thank you so much for the resub. 32 months is a long-ass time. Thank you, thank you. I hope you're doing great. Happy Tuesday. We're playing some Ace Attorney. It's great. Can you tell us more about the bookshop in question, please, Inspector? Well, if I must, I'll have to ask you to look at the street map again, I'm afraid. I want to play this. Yo, it's great. I'm enjoying it a lot. Although, we did, last week there was a case that was, like, making fun of domestic violence, which I was super not cool with. Aside from that, it's been pretty good. I'm interested in the overall, like, story that's happening. Yeah, it's, yeah, they make light of it. It's like, and it's also because it's like a wife abusing the husband, and they're like, oh, haha, and it's like, please don't do that. Yeah. Like, I know this is a remake of an older game, but it's still kind of, yeah, it's kind of yucky. But like aside from that, it's been an interesting story so far. I have also heard that the case that I'm currently on is like regarded as one of the worst ones. Well, if I must, I'll have to ask you to look at the street map again, I'm afraid. Bourbon Books is a good name. The closest secondhand bookshop to the accused lodgings is this place here, Bourbon Books. Is that actually where... No, that's not the same place. Okay. A little place on the corner of Briar Road and Mearsham Street. As it happens, the accused is currently living in lodgings on the other side of Briar Road at the opposite end. Which means it doesn't take a genius to work out the route he would have taken home. That's not where he went, though. That's not where he went. Something like this. Local maps information's been updated. Okay, so that's something we're gonna have to present information on, I think. Yes, I concur with your conclusion, Inspector. The defendant would certainly have passed the scene of the crime on his way home from that particular shop. Mr. Johnson, I think that what the inspector just told us could turn out to be of vital importance. Yes, I agree. The most important point that the inspector just made being bookshop's name. Inspector Gregson, may I ask you a favor? What? Would you kindly add the name of the bookshop to your formal testimony, please? I believe it may be of vital importance. Maybe? Oh, well, you know. I mean, yeah, it could be a very important clue. Very well. Not that I can see it being of any great significance. But please revise your testimony accordingly, Inspector. Yes, sir, my lord. Whatever you say. Could the man be any more sardonic? Okay. I'm gonna press that, but I'm gonna go here first and press this before...
Hold it!
We gotta take a break soon. You asked for the help of the famous detective, Herlock Sholmes, to locate the defendant, I believe. Stuff and nonsense. Sorry? That jack in office, that busybody just comes and sticks his oar in whenever we ask him or not. But according to what I have here, Mr. Sholmes was shown to the scene by Scotland Yard detectives. Well, that was nothing to do with me. The lads at the scene must have done it without my permission. I tell them time and again, whenever something happens, send word to headquarters. Then follow your bloomin' instructions. I see. So why the fuck was Sholmes there then? If that meddler gets his hands on any details, we'll all be reading it in Ranced magazine next month. And you can bet your last farthing that I'll be in there too, stripped of all my hard work on the case. Yes, Mr. Sholmes. No, Mr. Sholmes. Aren't you clever, Mr. Sholmes? That's all the thanks I'll be getting. Inspector, if the man is proving detrimental to the Yard's activities, perhaps I should step in and deal with him? Ah! It appears Inspector Gregson is lost for words. Yes, the Reaper's words carry a lot of weight, obviously. Anyway, the point is this. That little Japanese bloke's already admitted it. He admitted those books all over the pavement at the scene were the ones he bought that day. No, he didn't. Send Gregson to jail without any chips, yeah. This is the prosecutor, yes. Yes, he is a racist vampire asshole. He's a Dracula. Actually, everyone's racist. They're in fucking England. They're having a difficult time because everyone's racist and an asshole. What do you think, Mr. Johnson? If you're unable to sway the jury during this cross-examination, I'm afraid that Mr. Natsune's fate will be- that Mr. Natsune's fate will be sealed? Yeah. They're sure to find him guilty. So one way or another, I have to expose an undeniable inconsistency in the inspector's testimony. Okay. Okay, so I have to press and present to this. So we're gonna stop right here for a second, because this is gonna lead us into the next part. I think. I'm pretty sure. Because then he's not going the path that they think he went. So it's probably not him. Anyway, I'm gonna be right back. Please go grab some water, go grab a snack, go do a stretch. Oh yeah, frick. Indy, I saw that! I saw that they were getting rid of it. I never got a chance to use them. It's upsetting. Yes, hell yeah, Plum, go make some pasta. And 4 p.m. blaze it. Yes. That's the number, right? 4 p.m. I'll be right back, everyone. See you soon. Yeah, I also enjoyed the chants. I'm kind of surprised they didn't, like, they pulled back on that. Oh, well. Too bad. Gotta copy and paste your own chants. You know? Okay. So, first of all, I'm gonna put some lip chap on because I should have done that before I came back from break. Okay. Lip chap. Mamma mia.
Objection!
Objection! If I could just stop you there, Inspector Gregson. What is it, Sunshine? I'm a busy man, you know. This is a receipt that we found in Mr. Natsune's room. It was issued on the day of the incident and details the purchase of 3 secondhand books. And you found that in the accused's room, did you? Yes, but the point is not where the receipt was found, but the name of the shop printed on it. Go on. This receipt was issued from a bookstore called Your Books. Y-O-R-E. Yeah, there we go. Your Books? Y-O-R-E, I presume. Yes, my lord. So Mr. Natsumi did indeed purchase a number of books at a secondhand bookshop that day. However, the bookshop in question was not Bourbon Books. Huh? What? Inspector, do you know of this other bookshop? Yes, sir. Your Books is another secondhand bookshop not far from Bourbon Books. It's just that... well, it's such a small place, I didn't think the accused would have known about it.
Objection!
But in fact, that is the bookshop which the defendant visited on the day in question. And this receipt proves it.
Objection!
Yes, for what difference it makes. Wherever the man purchased his musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis.
Objection!
I disagree. I mean, after all, I have the street map here if that might be of help. Oh, yes, thank you. Have a look at this, please. If the defendant had been returning from Bourbon Books, then yes, he would almost have certainly passed the place where Mr. Green was attacked. However, if we take into account the fact that he was actually at another bookshop, Your Books, it may well turn out that he wouldn't have passed that location at all. Could that be true? My, it rather depends on where this other bookshop is, but I do declare it may be a possibility. Is that right, Mr. Lawyer, sir? What you just said? Absolutely. It absolutely could be right. You know, he probably should have asked where it was before making all these grand statements. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I know, right, Urek? Right? Susato frickin' rules. I'm so upset the game is not about her. I mean, it kind of, I mean, Yeah, she is the lawyer of this operation, absolutely. Hamburger Johnson's just a baby. Inspector Gregson, where is this Your Books establishment? Well, obviously we looked into that. Did you? It turns out that Your Books is just here on the next corner of Meerschaum Street going east. Ah, shit. Okay. I was hoping it was on the other fucking side. And there you have it, as you can clearly see now. No. Oh. Who gave you another bottle of wine and glass? My learned Nipponese friend is obviously in training to be a clown with the way he regales us with such witticisms. To your future career in the circus. You put that glass down now, or I'll put it down for you. I didn't think I needed to spell it out, but here we go. If the accused was coming home from Your Books instead of Bourbon Books, there's no doubt he still would have passed the place where the victim was stabbed. I'll be honest, they could have done a game where Hamburger doesn't even exist and said she's a lawyer that also practices fucking karate. I know. Please, I would 100% have played that game. Yeah, this guy's a fucking asshole. Like, this guy might actually be, like, the worst prosecutor. Like, in terms of being a bad man. Like, Von Karma is bad, but he's, like, there's not even, like, a fraction as bad as this guy. Yeah, I missed the cop. Mr. Air Guitar Cop. Clavier. I miss Kazuma, yeah. Yes, thank you, Inspector. Allow me to reiterate for my learned. Are you supposed to pronounce that learned or learned? I feel like I've heard it both ways, and he keeps saying it because he's an asshole. Allow me to reiterate for my learned, if somewhat slow, Nipponese friend. You fucking asshole. Wherever the man purchased his musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis. Ugh! Poor Hamburger. As I suspected, you can't fool me, and I don't suggest you try. What did I say, eh? I've had enough of this now. Beg your pardon. Terribly sorry, but did you mind repeating that? Mr. Johnson, we mustn't give up. What? What do you mean? If the prosecution's assertion is correct, the members of the jury may very well decide that Mr. Natsumi is guilty. She's absolutely right. We must consider the assertions just put forward by the prosecution very, very carefully. They claim Soseki-san must have passed the location of the incident on his way home from Your Books, but... do we have proof that he didn't? I miss beef stroganoff. Biff. Time. There's nothing about the time. I was wondering about the time. Is there a reason he would have not gone up that street that we can prove? I'm wondering if we should not raise an objection. I mean, there's nothing to lose from raising... I don't know. Okay. I'm just gonna... Because we have to defend our client. Sure. Did you say anything about the pavement? I didn't actually look into that. Hold on. No, I don't think so. I mean, there was snow all over the place. The only thing I can think of is maybe he didn't take that way because there was snow or something. Pavement at Briar Road on the east side. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, it's over there. Assuming that's north. Okay, well, let's see. The assertion that was just made by the prosecution is fundamentally flawed. Explain yourself, counsel. Yes, my lord. You can see what I mean on this map. When returning from your books to his lodgings, Mr. Natsumi could have followed the route suggested by the prosecution. However, that isn't the only conceivable route to take between the two places. Sure. If the defendant used these streets, look what happens. He arrives back at his lodgings without passing the location where the victim was attacked.
Objection!
Talking back to a clown is a fool's errand, of course. However, I feel compelled to point out that that route is what commonly referred to as the long way round. Ah. On a cold winter's night, why would any man choose to take a longer road home? Well, the answer is extremely simple. He wouldn't. In other words, the accused took the obvious route back to his lodgings and is the obvious perpetrator of this crime.
Objection!
But... Aha! Yes, I've got it! Obviously, we must ask the man himself. Ask Mr. Natsumi which route he took home. I have already informed the court of the accused's response to such questioning. He claims he has no recollection. Huh. That's right. As I said, the bloke seems to spend his time outside wandering aimlessly from A to B. That day was no exception. He says he doesn't remember where he was or which route he took home. I don't believe this. Just throwing a tantrum in the middle of court. What a baby. I thank you, my learned friend. And suggest that we do not waste any more of the court's time by wandering aimlessly around this subject. Hey there, Oz. How is there still more Ace Attorney in existence? There is so much of this game that I'm not through. Like, I'm in, like, the first quarter of the game or something. This game is huge. Also, hope you're doing well today. Happy Tuesday. Pray, what say you, insightful jurors? But even if that is the case, the defense still... Great, we gotta listen to these bitches. I agree with Lord Van Zeeks, wholeheartedly, and in every way! What? I don't believe it. Does this mean... We members of the jury are completely convinced now. Very well. In that case, I hereby call upon all members of the jury to present your findings to the court.
Guilty!
Guilty.
Guilty!
Shit.
Guilty.
Guilty! Guilty!
Uh-oh. Well, fuck. It would appear the jury's leaning is unanimous. Oh no, this is in Britain. Everyone is very racist. Everyone is very racist towards Hamburger Johnson and Susato. This guy especially, Mr. Dracula over here. To the insightful members of the jury, I applaud your brave resolve. You serve Queen and country admirably. Mr. Johnson. No, not yet. This isn't over yet. I still have one last chance to sway the opinion of the jury. I have to tip the balance of those scales the other way. I have to turn this around! Somehow. Those are the eyes of Quarry, not yet willing to give up and die. So I presume you intend to wield your rights again in this trial. The rights of the defense written into the antiquated British laws that should have been buried long ago. Call it antiquated if you will, but it's the defense's prerogative to carry out a summation examination if it so chooses. Very well, counsel. In accordance with the letter of the law, we shall proceed with a summation examination. Are the members of the jury ready, Mr. Foreman? Of course we're ready. I'm all too familiar with that Nipponese whippersnapper and his onkus refusal to throw his alley. Throw in his alley? Sorry. Very well then. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will explain on what grounds you have determined the defendant to be guilty. Okay. Hey there, Ronjus! Welcome in. I actually just thought it was an anime. It is very anime. But this game series is awesome. This is, so Oz, to answer your question, this is the past. This is set in the 1890-ish, I think? Around then? Around then. And it's starring, Phoenix Wright's ancestor. Yeah, turnabout, let's go. Johnson's thinking, I have to be dealing with this again. I know, right? Gosh, these frickin' jurors. Sorry, these fucking racist jurors. For pity's sake, that little Nipponese oddity already admitted it himself, didn't he? If he said that a woman in green collapsed before his eyes, why it can only have been the victim? The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop, not in winter. So the poor woman was attacked from behind, was she? How dreadful. I really don't care. Can't we just wrap this up now? I've got work to be doing. Your books, yes. Nice shop, that. But bourbon books? No, not worth the visit. Okay. With only minor exceptions, the reasons for finding the defendant guilty are all too clear. When the stabbing occurred, the only two people at the scene were the victim and the accused. And the accused himself has admitted to seeing the victim in her green overcoat sink to the ground before his eyes. Furthermore, we have heard from the inspector that the defendant then fled the scene. I must say, I would have ample grounds to convict this man already. Oh dear, even the judge appears convinced of Mr. Natsumi's guilt now. Why did he have to run away like that? And how are we supposed to believe in some phantom attacker that no one could see? This is impossible. How can I possibly make a case for the defense? Mr. Johnson, this is no time for grumbling. If we want to force the trial to continue... Yes, I know. I have to turn the tide. I must make the jurors change their mind. You have to perform a turnabout! Well, 4 of them, at least. Exactly. We have no choice but to forge forward. You have the floor, counsel. Begin your summation examination. Yes, my lord. I just need to keep this trial going somehow, whatever it takes. Come on, hamburger. You can do it. Running implies guilt or maybe a desire to not be the next victim. I know, right? Weird. Weird that you would run away from where someone got stabbed. Okay. The defense's rebuttal. For pity's sake. Oh, we already... Okay, so, I forgot how this works. Everyone has a different statement, and then you pit people against each other that have... Oh, wait, you can press all of these, right? You can.
Hold it!
Excuse me, but... Aren't you... Yes, that's right. I was in the witness stand myself just 2 days ago. Yes, I had a feeling I knew your face. Or the side of it, anyway. If I remember correctly, you're a banker, aren't you? That's right. After the gold rush down under, I came back to London to work. And it was all going swimmingly until you started fossicking around. Bruce Fairplay was a man of repute. Sorry? Don't think I've forgotten how you treated me the other day. You had me and that young hatter pegged as criminals. Oh, well, you know, water under the bridge. Now there's all sorts of rumors buzzing around, and the police have been badgering me nonstop. If I could turn back the clock? Well, anyway, I don't know about the hatter, but at least I'm all in the clear now. And free to make up my own mind about who's guilty and who isn't. Huh. Thank goodness. Alright. Maybe I might struggle to change this man's mind given our awkward history. Oh dear. I wonder what's become of Mr. First now. If he said that, okay, woman, oh, it can only have been the victim. You're right that at the time of the incident, the defendant admits to having seen someone wearing a green overcoat walking ahead of him. Well, quite. That's precisely my point. Clearly that someone wearing green was the victim. And clearly that funny little Nipponese man with the disturbing mustache is the culprit. But let us not forget, madame. The defendant, fuck, how do you say this word? Vehemently denies attacking the woman. Why, of course he does. If he admits to stabbing her, his life is over. The man is obviously a liver-faced coward, honestly. Claiming that woman simply collapsed before his eyes? But if that's a lie, as you're suggesting, do you not think he would have concocted something more credible? Oh, I really couldn't say. After all, you are foreign. Who's to say what goes through your funny little minds? Pff, woof. I could tell you what's going through my funny little mind right now, but you wouldn't like it. I do declare that man has already made the admission. He himself has stated that there was nobody else around. Surely the conclusion is obvious. No one else could have possibly committed this awful crime. If no one else could have done it, the accused must be the man. Really, it couldn't be more simple. Your argument is compelling in its simplicity, I must admit. Oh my, you are too kind, my lord. That went well, for her. The third witness reminds me of Tintin or the vault guy from Fallout. Yeah. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I see it. Hey, Arms Tech, welcome in. Happy Tuesday. Is there any evidence? No, there's no fucking evidence of everything. Of anything. Their only witness is a fucking cop and his wife. Also, there was no murder that actually happened. Anyway, it's fucked up. The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop, not in winter.
Hold it!
But you can't deny that there are other routes Mr. Natsumi could have taken back from your books. Oh, yes. Like you drew on the map, you mean? What was it? Calabash Road or something? Precisely. But it seems to me that what counts is whether the little Japanese fellow actually went that way or not. Well, yes, that's true. At the moment, there's no proof that shows that he did, is there? Well, yes, that's true as well. And as I'd understand it, the accused himself doesn't remember which way he went, does he? Well, yep, that's annoyingly true. Winter nights are dark and cold, so the way I see it, you'd want to get home as quickly as possible. Well, yes. Why is all this true? So really, the only thing that makes sense is that he went home along Briar Road. I'm supposed to be convincing you here. I've given it a lot of thought, you know. I just didn't make up my mind on a whim that he did it. I mean, if there was some logical reason why he might have gone to Calabash Roadway, it'd be different. I'd be happy to reconsider my position in that case. Honest, I would. A reason why Soseki-san might have taken the longer way home. Yeah, a good reason. I don't imagine you'll be able to sway this young man's opinion without one. Okay. Happy Tuesday. Yeah, it's going well. That's good to hear. I'm doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Been playing this. Got a workout in this morning, which was good as well. My arms are sore, but aside from that... Which reminds me, I should stretch? Oh my god. Ugh. So the poor woman was attacked from behind, was she? How dreadful.
Hold it!
Whatever is the matter, young man? You're the wife of Mr. Garrideb, aren't you? The landlord who rents Mr. Natsumi his room. The master's wife? Where do you get your ideas, sir? I'm the maid. The maid, you understand? She's keeping up that charade. This is gonna be awkward. Why didn't you mention this yesterday? That you'd been selected for the jury in this trial, I mean. Well, I was told not to mention it to anyone until the day of the trial, you see. It was in the letter I received. The instructions were very clear, so I'm afraid I had no choice. I see. Anyway, Mr. Natsumi, the defendant, takes lodgings in your master's house, doesn't he? Yes, that's right. Although he's only been in a little over a week now. And in that time, surely you must have taken stock of his character. Does Mr. Natsumi look like the kind of man who would commit a crime such as this? Oh, my goodness me, yes, he's just the sort. What? Spending all his time in that dark and dingy room, sporting that unscrupulous mustache. The man never speaks, and don't get me started on those shifty eyes. All the neighbors are talking about him. I've heard them, you know. People think he must be building a bomb in there or something. Oh dear. Poor Mr. Natsumi. How could people say such things about him? He's just a harmless bookworm. Nothing more. Well, you just called him a worm, so... Is this the maid that spilled all the tea? Yes, yeah. Yes, it is. Mustache equals murderer facts. Hashtag facts. Damn, I must know a lot of murderers then. glip facts. Hashtag glips. Anyway, I'd better be careful about inviting this maid to speak. She's already said enough damning things already. I really don't care. Can't we just wrap this up now? I've got work to be doing.
Hold it!
A man's life is on the line here, sir. This will take as long as it takes. Don't get clever with me now, son. My life's on the line too, and so is my family's. The likes of you wouldn't understand, but a laborer like me can't afford to take time off. If I don't work, I don't eat, and neither do the wife and kids. Oh, I see. That must be very hard. I go to the union every morning to find out what needs doing. If you're late and the work's taken, it's tough. This time of year, there's water and gas supply pipes bursting left, right, and center. They're after cheap labor to get the roads dug up to fix it. It's a hard slog from dawn till dusk, it is. I wonder where this is going. So, you were out digging up the roads on the day of the incident as well, were you? That's right. In fact, if I remember rightly, it was just round the corner from where it all happened. By that old bookshop it was. Oh. What? Another coincidence. That's right. Meerschaum Street it was. Meerschaum Street. On the map, Mr. Johnson, there's only 3 named streets. Juror number 5, I need you to add that information to your formal statement, please. What's the point in that? Can't we just get this business over with now? Please, sir, it's important. Fine, I'll do it then. On the day it happened, I was digging up Meerschaum Street from dawn till dusk.
Hold it!
So, if I understand correctly, you're a day laborer and you were doing road maintenance that day? That's right. Like I said, you get a lot of burst gas and water pipes underground in the middle of winter. The only time of year fellows like me can actually make a few bob. And I'm missing out on it today. And when you say from dawn till dusk, well, the work has to be completed within the day, see? No coaches or pedestrians can pass while it's happening. I wonder if I could trouble you, sir. To mark on this street map the exact location of the work you were carrying out? Give it here, then. Let me have a look. Right, let's see, then. Hell yes! Hell yeah! We got saved. We can turn this about now. Here we are, Meerschaum Street. Yeah, it was just here, like. It was a tidy dig, I can tell you. We had to get through all the drifts of snow that had frozen solid. And what sort of time did you finish the work? Well, we started in the morning and we kind of finished before gone 6, I'd say. Snow had stopped coming down, but it was a long past dark for sure. That means the roadwork was still going on when Miss Green was attacked at around 5 o'clock. Roadworks on Meerschaum Street, huh? Indeed.
Hold it!
Let's find out about Bourbon Books. Sorry? Fold it, you say? Fold what? No. What I said was hold it. What I wanted to ask was, do you visit your books often? I like the old books they have in there, yeah. I enjoy reading them over a nice cup of old tea. That's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're all talking about. And at what time did you visit your books on that day in question? Well, I was picking out books in there all afternoon, and it would have been just before 5 that I left. That's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're all talking about. Just before 5, you say? Exactly when the victim was attacked. Are you sure about the time? Oh, yes, no mistake there. I remember it well. I'm not about to forget that day in a hurry, not after the dreadful time I had. Wait, what do you mean? Well, I was walking down Calabash Road when I slipped on the ice and donked my head. It's always worse after the snows stop falling. That's when it's most slippery. Knocked myself clean out, I did. I really thought my number was up. Wait a minute. Let me get this straight. This happened on Calabash Road. That's right. I live in Cornpipe, you see. Heading down Calabash Road is the quickest way for me to get back from your books. Juror number 6, I must insist that you add that information to your formal statement. It may well be extremely significant. Sorry? Extremely sick? No, I'm quite all right now. Someone give Mr. Johnson a big fucking fancy glass of wine. I know, right? He needs it. Yeah, look at all the murderers on the jury. I like that Hamburger's interrogating the jury rather than calling witnesses. Yeah, I know, right? I mean, I assume we'll probably end up having to call a witness at some point soon. After we finish this, this thing where we get them to change their minds. It sends a shiver down my spine to hear the members of the jury so convinced of Mr. Natsumi's guilt. But I can't help feel that some of their opinions are rather subjective. I agree. It's the irrelevance of what some of them are saying that sends a shiver down my spine. Still, at least some of their assertions don't actually incriminate Mr. Natsumi or anything. That's something. We must use that to our advantage, Mr. Johnson. Cunningly. Yes, you're right. Let's listen to the jurors again, carefully. And if any of their assertions are at odds, I'll pit them mercilessly against each other. Okay, I'm trying to figure out who we're pitting against each other. Yes, don't hold back. Pit them all against each other. Shivers down your spine? Bones! Bone shivers. Okay, so I think... this one? The thing about him not going around the houses on his way back from the bookshop in the winter. Versus... here.
Objection!
Those two statements are clearly at odds with one another. At odds, counsel? Explain yourself. Please, don't point. It wasn't me, I swear. What? I just want to get this done and dusted. Well, juror number 3? Oh, me, sir? What do you mean? Juror number 5's words just now are extremely significant. I'm just gonna leave this because this is a really good animation. And I appreciate that they have a fully animated walking motion for Hamburger Johnson in this game, because it's really good. Yeah, he can actually walk around. Let's take a moment to consider the implications of what's been said on our map of the local area. On the day in question, Mr. Natsumi visited this bookshop to purchase a number of secondhand books. And on the same day, we now know that there were works being carried out on Meersham Street, making it impassable. Which means the defendant's route home could not have taken him along Meersham Street and Downbriar Road. Oh, yes, of course. Wait, what do you think, sir? Well, yeah, you can't argue with that really, can you? We must have had a good 2 yards or more of the pavement up. Every gentleman and gentlewoman that came along had to turn back and go the other way. So the only conclusion is this. The defendant must have taken the longer route back to his lodgings. Yes, I suppose he must have. I suppose that must be right, eh? Juror number 3, you said the following. The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop. But we see now that he had no choice. Yes! My lord, Mr. Judge, sir, if I may. Yes? I don't think in all good conscience I can say the man's guilty now. Yes, I'd like to see this trial continue so we can get to the bottom of what really happened. Hell yes! Damn! Boom. What about you, sir? Huh, who, me? Well, alright then. If there's a hole in the prosecution's argument, it should be filled in, that's what I say. Hell yes! Boom! Oh, well done, Mr. Johnson. That was wonderful. Well, we've managed to change a couple of minds at least. It's strengthened our position somewhat. Yes, and it will prompt the other members of the jury to reconsider their stance as well. They'll be asking themselves if their current leanings are really right or not. Now, if only we could just identify one more clue or discrepancy that would make them stop doubting Mr. Natsumi. We might be able to tip the balance completely. Yes, that's exactly what we gotta do. Hey, Paperette, welcome in. Paperette, you're late to court. Van Zeeks is looking to bring this trial to an early conclusion. That's what we have to prevent, by whatever means we have at our disposal. Thank you, counsel. On with the summation examination, please. Yes, my lord. All guilty, yeah. I think we should probably take a break. But I'm pretty sure we have to pit, juror number 2 against this man who is also in a green coat and fell over. Okay, I'm gonna be right back. Please go grab some water, go grab a snack, go do a stretch, and I will see you all soon. Here, we're gonna pit this lady against this old man.
Objection!
Those two statements clearly show a flaw in the juror's reasoning. A flaw? What are you talking about, counsel? Well, juror number 2, juror number 6. My, whatever do you mean, sir? I think perhaps the old man didn't hear you. Unbelievable. It's not like I was loud or anything. There's at least one fact of which we can be sure here. The bookshop receipt found in the defendant's room clearly indicates that on the day of the attack, he had been to Your Books and purchased a number of secondhand titles. Then he returned home on foot. But the man says he has no recollection of his return journey. That's correct. But what he does remember is seeing someone appear in front of him on the way. Someone in a green overcoat who suddenly collapsed on the pavement before his eyes. Yes, we are all well aware of this. The poor young woman who was stabbed, obviously.
Objection!
Can we really be sure of that, madame? My, whatever do you mean? I'm sure you heard juror number 6 account of what happened to him that day. That same afternoon, there was somebody else apart from the victim who was wearing a green overcoat and who fell over on the icy streets in the neighborhood. Oh my. My goodness, you mean? That's right. I'm referring to, of course, to hard of hearing juror number 6. Are you really suggesting that the person in the green overcoat whom the defendant saw collapse in front of his eyes was the jolly old gentleman on the end of the bench here with me today? That is entirely possible, yes. After all, the old man has a somewhat similar build to the victim. Well, look at that. My goodness me. Sorry? You need a pee? And crucially, we know precisely where the old man in the green overcoat fell. On Calabash Road. Therefore, if the person who Mr. Natsumi saw collapsing in front of him was in fact juror number 6, it means the defendant must have taken the long route back to his lodgings. And if that's true, then clearly, the crime scene on Briar Road where the woman was stabbed was not on his way home. Oh my! Exactly! You idiot old man! If you hadn't been so daft as to be roaming around there, we'd have boxed this off hours ago! And really, what were you thinking wearing such a befuddling coat? What did you say to me? Is it a crime for the elderly to walk the streets these days? Is it a crime to slip over on the ice? Is it a crime to keep up with the latest styles and wear a beautiful green overcoat, is it? Is that what's considered a crime? Damn. I sent that before he was called an idiot, to be fair. Very good. Yeah, blame the innocent. Yeah, absolutely. Metroid crime's just being a fashionable bird. Exactly. I'm still trying to decide if I want to wear that coat for Frost Fatales. I'm thinking about it, and also I'm thinking about, because, like, it also plays into the whole, like, it's cold thing, because that's, like, a warm jacket. I'm trying to decide if that's how I want to appear in front of, like, 50,000 people. It's a lot. What coat? The one I wore when I was building the Lego set. Like the giant pink fluffy one? That makes me look like a bird. It won't be too warm. It'll be fine for half an hour. Yeah, that one. I think whatever I do, I want to be wearing something obnoxiously pink. So... My lord, I do hope it won't cause any inconvenience, but... You'd like to change your leaning, I presume? I do declare that I would. I should like to call for a verdict of not guilty. Thank you. And I would too. What? Is it a crime to change your mind, is it? Well... Hell yeah! Bam. Well, the summation examination has concluded with a rather large shift in opinion. The ayes, 2. The noes, 4. And the noes have it. Not guilty, they say. Which means we no longer have a consensus among the members of the jury. The trial will continue.
Objection!
Go fucking drink your goddamn wine. Fuck you. Fuck off. How many glasses do you think he owns? How many do you think he brings to the courtroom with him? Oh, Plum, how nice of you to show up and send that, Squeeze Sonic thing during the part with the Dracula. I see. You're only here for the chips and the Draculas. Squeeze. How Beautiful. Come for the chips, stay for the Draculas. Yep. Hey, Tim. Welcome in. Happy Tuesday. Okay, for anyone who wasn't here before I did the hug, this man just fucking crushed a glass of wine in his hand, and it's not his first glass. Holy shit, that emote is so cute. Could it seem churlish of me to drink from my hallowed chalice moments after raising an objection? Only to crush it in disgust? Pray forgive the discourtesy. Lord Van Zeeks? It seems I must retract my earlier remark. What do you mean? I mistakenly credited these jurors with intelligence by describing them as insightful. Yet we have just witnessed them falling for a cheap trick performed by an Eastern entertainer. Wow, fuck you! Huh? Whatever do you mean?
Objection!
I haven't tricked anyone. Everything I've said is the truth. Indeed, stalwart juror number 5 was undoubtedly repairing the road, as he claims. I believe you said it was a good 2 yards of the pavement which you had excavated, sir? That's right. Took me the whole day and they paid me a measly tuppence for it. Now, my learned Nipponese friend, tell me. Do you have any notion of the distance that 2 yards represents? Well, if I'm honest, I don't have a clue, no. 2 yards is a little less than 2 meters. Less than 2 meters? Oh, that's not much at all. In other words, a distance readily vaulted by anyone of moderate vigor. Would you not agree, my stalwart friend? Huh? Me? Well, I can't say you're wrong, no. What? And did you perchance erect a sign to prevent pedestrians from passing the site of your works? Huh? I wouldn't dream of it. What a waste of time. Yeah, putting up signs. It's a waste of time. There's a giant hole in the road. No coaches would have had a hope of passing anyway, and we just turn any gentlefolk back when they come. Kids just jump right over us all the time. The accused is no gentleman, as far as I can see. Excuse me, fuck you. He says he turns everyone, yeah, he said he turns everyone around, but he's thinking, oh no, he's gonna just jump over it. I have little doubt, however, that he could spring over a 2-yard trench in the meanderings around town. Ah! Is that true? Is it? And the incontrovertible truth is that the books just purchased by the accused were found at the scene. There can be no doubt that on his way back to his lodgings, Mr. Natsumi walked down Briar Road. Crushed in a single sentence. And, old man. Cold man? You can talk! You say that around 5 o'clock on the day in question, you slipped and fell on Calabash Road. Pray, was there a suspicious-looking Nipponese behind you at the time? This guy. I can't say I remember. You don't remember? How about a wager, my learned friend? You say it was this old man that the accused saw, but I would lay 1,000 to 1 against you being able to prove it. Ah! This bitch. Order! Order! Lord Van Zeeks, explain yourself. My lord? If you had such a trenchant argument built up your sleeve, why in the world did you not proffer it during the summation examination? I wanted to give this young foreign student the sightseeing experience he no doubt came for. I wanted him to see for himself how the opinion of the jury is so readily swayed. But my hospitality has its limits, and they have been reached, I feel. Uh-oh. Oh shit, he threw off his fucking cape! So, my learned friend, today's sightseeing of the tour of London is now over. What? What are you talking about? My lord. The prosecution requests permission to call its next witness to the stand. Granted. Bailiff, bring forth the witnesses! Oh shit. It's next witnesses? Mr. Johnson, do you not remember? We've been told on several occasions that there were eyewitnesses to the incident. Yes, I remember. One of them being a Scotland Yard policeman, no less. I'm afraid that's likely to be the prosecution's next witness. Alright, no matter who Van Zieks brings to the stand as his witnesses, and no matter what they say, I believe in Soseki-san. I know he's innocent. And I'll keep believing to the very end, until this battle is over. Okay. Witnesses, please state your names and occupations for the court. Is it Rolly Beats or Rolly Beatty? Bates? Bates? Beatty? Beats? I don't know what this pun is. Okay. I'm not gonna look it up though, because I don't... okay. Constable Rolly Beats, sir. Nothing to report on the streets, sir. And I'm Miss Beat. Patricia's my name. I'm proud to say I'm this young town's hero wife. What's the story here? Good question, Hamburger. I have no idea. Well, in truth, we've not been married long. In fact, we celebrated our first anniversary only the other day. No. It was your husband I was asking about. He seems tired. Hardly surprising. Whilst being an honorable occupation, patrolling the beat is the most demanding work in the world. Oh, really? I'm sure I've heard that before, actually. Indeed, apart from the rare days off, our gallant officers trudge some 20 miles a day, you know. They patrol boarding houses and pubs, collect taxes, survey the streets, check that the meters are reading true. And they're responsible for keeping the streets clean and lighting and extinguishing our streetlights. There's a number of items on that list that don't sound much like policing duties at all. I wouldn't just be falling asleep on my feet. I've had collapsed long ago. But it goes without saying that policeman's primary duty is the apprehension of criminals. Even when he's off duty, a constable is expected to investigate and resolve any crimes on his beat. Where the London Bobby is a man of honor. Why do I call him Hamburger? Okay. That's a long story that I don't even know how to go about explaining, but you know how there's like the weird in the Ace Attorney games, there's weird stuff about localization where there's this one running gag that ramen, when they translate it, they translate it to hamburgers. So his name is very Japanese in this like this is the most like they kept a lot of the Japanese names from the translation in this game. So I just have, there's this running joke on the channel where his name is Hamburger Johnson. So I replace his last name with Johnson and his first name with Hamburger. That's the shortest explanation I can think of for that. Anyway, Uchi, hello, welcome in. Hi, happy Tuesday. Hope you're doing well. And a man of slumber. Sword, hi! Hi, happy Tuesday. Doing pretty good, hope you're doing well. On the day in question, this man and his wife were walking down Briar Road in the opposite direction, and they witnessed the incident as it occurred. Is that not correct, Mr. and Mrs. Beat?
That's right, sir. Isn't it, Rolly?
Constable Rolly Beat, sir. Nothing to report on the streets, sir. What a great witness he's gonna be. Very good. I'd like to hear your formal testimonies now, please. You will tell the court exactly what you saw on the afternoon of the incident. Yes, sir. And he's asleep again. Okay, good. Cool, and good. What the witness saw?
It was our wedding anniversary, and Rolly was taking me out for a meal. There was no time to change after work. Anyway, two silhouettes appeared out of the fog on the pavement in front of us. All of a sudden, one of them just collapsed on the floor, and then the other scattered something before running off. We ran straight over, of course, and then went for help at a nearby police box. It was definitely that Japanese man in the dock. Rolly and I both saw him clear as day.
Okay. Well, this is extremely compelling testimony, I must say.
Oh dear. This policeman and his wife are claiming to have positively identified Mr. Natsumi at the scene. If their testimony is true, the alternative course of events that you established in the summation examination will be quashed.
Its death knell, in fact. Because of that alternative was never viable in the first place. What an unfortunate bechancing, and on your wedding anniversary too.
Oh, I know, but I still managed to go out for the evening with my man. I thank the Lord for that.
Gosh.
The life of a London bobby sounds very hard indeed.
Indeed, however. This cross-examination will be over in minutes. You may well have time to rest this afternoon. What do you mean by that? My learned friend, the witness saw the face of the man fleeing the scene. They are testifying under oath that it was without doubt the accused, Mr. Soseki Natsumi. And one of these witnesses is a policeman, no less, so you appreciate the gravity of the situation, I'm sure. Except that the man's so tired, his wife has to do all the talking. Okay. I need some water. Stay hydrated, everyone. Please drink some water. Enough preamble. Counsel for the defense, commence the cross-examination, please. Indy, thanks. Hamburger needs it. Hamburger needs this run to be blessed. Bless this mess. Yep. Yes, my lord. What the witnesses saw.
It was our wedding anniversary, and Rolly was taking me out for a meal. There was no time to change after work.
Hold it!
No time to change after work, you say? Are you also a member of the police, Miss Beat?
Oh, no, sadly not. It's a job for strapping young men only. Women, children, and the elderly can't even apply.
Okay. Well, I think you can probably see why children and the elderly can't do the job, can't you?
I think Rolly looks ever so handsome in his uniform. It suits you down the ground, doesn't it, darling?
What? I just finished my beat. Pat and I were heading back to the station. I was actually planning on getting changed there. Is he talking in his sleep? This is creepy.
Oh, no, Rolly. I much prefer you in uniform. Sometimes I don't recognize you when I see you in plain clothes. Oh dear, that doesn't seem healthy.
Kindly adhere to the point. You were going for a meal after you'd finished your beat for the day, correct?
So... Okay, so she just said that she's not good at recognizing him outside of his uniform. How is she a reliable witness for this at all?
Okay. That's right, sir, yes. Although I was fit to drop, to be honest, after spending the whole day on my feet. But policing's my life, sir. As long as I'm the proud owner of this, I'll serve my city and queen to the end.
What's that now?
My warrant card, sir. Proof that I'm a London copper. Has the noble founding principles of the force written on it as a reminder to us policemen of our sworn duty. Patrol the streets of London town and uphold the peace of the common man. Sir! And for such a noble cause, I cover 20 miles every single day without fail and without a grumble. As I know the plodding of my boots is all Londoners need to hear to feel safe and secure. So, fighting crime doesn't appear to come into it, then. But sir, just on that one particular day, I was looking forward to celebrating my wedding anniversary. Miss Beat puts up with a lot being married to a bobby like me. I wanted to show my dear wife how much I care.
Oh, Pat. Oh, Rolly.
Okay. I just got their pun on their fucking name. I don't know why it took me that long.
Oh, what a charming couple. Their young love is such a joy to behold.
If a little over the top, perhaps? Why is this child a police officer? That kid's chewing on his hat. Okay, yep. I was wondering how old they were. Is Rolly 3 kids in a cop trench coat? Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, literally a child. Yeah, 23. And then kindly describe what happened next. Yeah, anyone who's like 5 years younger than me is a child.
Anyway, 2 silhouettes appeared out of the fog on the pavement in front of us.
Hold it!
2 silhouettes?
That's right. They were coming towards us, walking up Briar Road in the opposite direction. There was a rather plump figure followed by a scrawny, thin-looking man.
That does sound exactly like the victim as pictured in this print, and like Mr. Natsumi. Yes, unfortunately it does. And you're certain that at that time there was nobody else nearby?
Oh yes, quite certain. It was dark, but there's streetlights on Briar Road, you see. There was nobody else around at all. Isn't that right, my darling?
What? Yeah, that's right. Of course, there was a light fog on the ground. But Briar Road's dead straight, and you can see a fairly long way down the pavement. And then there's a street lighting as well. I didn't see any other pedestrians. Before sleep takes a firm hold, your answer, please, Mr. Beat. And are you quite sure of what you've just said? Yes, sir. As a copper who spends all day every day keeping watch on the streets, I'd swear to it, sir. And I'm sure. As my love for Patricia is true.
Oh, Pat. Oh, Rolly.
They're still maintaining that there was no one else around other than the victim and the attacker. It's starting to seem like that must be how it really happened. It's beginning to seem like there's nowhere to run. Well, that didn't stop Mr. Natsumi, did it? He fled the scene all too convincingly. Thank you. I believe we have a reasonably clear idea of the situation just before the incident now. What happened in the crucial moments that followed? I mentioned this recently, but anyone under the age of 34 is a tiny baby, and anyone over 36 is super old. Wow, yeah. You're just gonna go for a 1-year range there. Hey, Basil. Mento crime. Mentos? The fresh maker? I'm doing great. Hope you're doing great too. Happy Tuesday. All of a sudden one of them just collapsed on the floor, then the other scattered something before running off.
Hold it!
Hold on, I need to put chapstick on. Fall in the middle of that very specific window and I approve. Yeah, same. Scattered something. What do you mean by that?
Oh, well, I couldn't quite make out what it was at the time. But when we got closer, we realized what it was. Didn't we, darling?
What? Yeah. That's right. It was some old books. I see. Old books. Yes, sir. The culprit had dropped a number of them all around where the victim lay on the pavement. Indeed. It's clearly pictured in the photographic print.
That rotten Japanese man did that when he did the deed.
Hold it!
Rude. Let's not forget that it remains to be established that the defendant was indeed the attacker. But we saw him! It was the man in the dock with the question, sir. The mustache, the hunched back, the cat-like eyes, the taut mouth, the snub nose, everything. Any more insults you want to throw in?
That's right. He looked down at that poor defenseless woman with those terrifyingly intense eyes. And then suddenly threw his books on the pavement and ran away.
I see. This is tough. They seem as though they're telling the truth here. May I remind the court that this unambiguous testimony comes from a policeman and his wife? Man, fuck the police. Now please continue.
Yes! We ran straight over, of course, and then went for help at a nearby police box.
Hold it!
Was it your husband who went to fetch help?
No, I went. I may not be a police officer myself, but I am the proud wife of one, after all. Isn't that right, my darling?
What? Oh, yeah, that's right. I asked Mrs. Beat to go. I was off duty by that point. But a Bobby's never truly off duty, of course, so I felt obliged to stay and guard the scene. Very laudable, Mr. Beat. Preserving the scene of a crime is a task of considerable importance. That's why I sent Patricia, you see. I told her where to find the right police box. Forgive my ignorance, but what do you mean exactly by the right police box? Depends on a crime's location, you see, as to who deals with it. Where the woman was stabbed wasn't actually on my beat. So I told Patricia the way to the police box for the beat the incident fell under so she could go and report it. Fucking... Jesus Christ. Okay, well then.
I ran there as quickly as I could and asked for help from the Bobby on duty. There is nothing more potent than a young couple in love working together, you know.
And thanks to your swift response, the case was quickly resolved. The actions of 2 model citizens. The police didn't fucking come and arrest him until the day after. These bitches.
Oh, please. You're making us blush, isn't he, darling?
Yes, sir. What Patricia said, sir. Let's move on, shall we? I feel like that's probably something I need to present on. It's starting to feel like a Weekend at Bernie's situation. Yeah, a little bit. Really, though, why is he eating his hat? He's sleepy. I thought that was, like, headgear or something at first. Like, for braces?
It was definitely that Japanese man in the dock. Rolly and I both saw him as clear as day.
But surely you wouldn't have been able to see his face by the light of the gas street lamps, would you?
We absolutely could. Us Londoners have exceptional eyesight, I'll have you know.
Right.
The light from the street lamps was more than enough. And my husband already told you the fog was only light, didn't he?
Huh. Yeah, and what of the fog? We're famous for it across the globe, I believe. But it's an absolute menace to those of us who have to live with it, of course.
Oh, it is, it is. When it's thick, you can't even see the hand at the end of your own arm.
Yes, alright. I take your point. Now, could you stop shaking your husband about?
The constant fog makes our eyes very sharp, you see. That's why we can tell you for sure and certain that it was the little Japanese man we saw. Can't we, darling?
What? Yeah, it was the accused and no mistake. The mustache, the hunchback, cat-like eyes, the top mouth, the snub nose. Unmistakable, sir! As far as this couple's testimony is concerned, there can't be any question. It was Soseki-san they saw running away from the scene of the crime. Okay, so that's it, is it? That's their entire testimony? What do you think, Mr. Johnson? Well, I hate to admit it, but on hearing the testimony, it really does seem as though Mr. and Mrs. Beats saw what they say they saw. Mr. Natsumi running away from the scene on Briar Road that day.
Yes, I feel the same.
So if that's true, where does it leave us?
Members of the jury are sure to call for a guilty verdict after this testimony.
Oh no, then what do we do?
If Kazuma-sama were here...
What are you trying to say?
I think he would try to find a contradiction somewhere else within their testimony.
What do you mean, somewhere else?
Their statement about seeing Mr. Natsume is unequivocal. Calling that into question won't help. But if you could identify some other part of their testimony which appears to contradict the facts, you might be able to discredit them, to make the jury doubt the pair's memory of the day is accurate.
Oh, right.
Put simply, we must focus on finding a discrepancy in these statements somewhere. If we don't, I'm afraid the trial may reach an early and unfavorable conclusion.
Why do I always seem to be so up against it? She should be the lawyer, not fucking Hamburger Johnson here. The guy's very sleepy. He's very sleepy. Maybe he could be drunk too. I'm not sure. But I think he's supposed to be sleepy. What if it's all a discrepancy? Yeah, I think that's what's happening. Yeah.
Mr. Lawyer, sir, can I ask you something?
Oh, yes, of course. What is it?
Well, you keep asking us all these questions about everything we've told you, so... It seems like you don't believe our testimony. Is that right? Is it? Well, out with it!
What? No. Oh, no. It's really not that at all.
My husband's a policeman, remember? And I know what I saw. I remember every last detail, everything. Oh, I know. What about the books the man dropped? I could tell you the names of every single one I could. Every single one. And you dare to question how reliable my testimony is? That will do, Miss Beat. No, it won't do at all. That Japanese lawyer has no idea what I'm capable of. Even if I decide to forgive him for insulting us, don't you think for a minute that Rolly will? I really didn't mean to cause offense. Please put your husband's fists down. Perhaps you would like the opportunity to supplement your testimony, Miss Beat. Might that appease you? Oh, thank you, my lord. That would settle things nicely. Wouldn't it, darling? He's passed out again. Okay, I guess I should fucking call her bluff here, right?
Hold it!
We have the list of the books that he bought. Yes, we know that there were books dropped at the scene of the crime, as you say. Those purchased by the accused at the nearby secondhand bookshop on the day in question. After I'd been to the police box for help, I decided to have a good look over the area for good measure. I'm a proud policeman's wife, after all. I did it for Rolly. And what was your husband doing at the time? Oh, he was lying face down in the snow, getting some well-deserved rest. He works ever so hard, you know, ever so hard. Don't you, my darling? Interesting way of guarding the scene of the crime. Well, Miss Beat, seeing as you've regaled the court with your tales of your powers of recollection, would you be so kind as to recount the titles of the books you observed at the scene? I'd be happy to. Now, are you all listening? There was the picture of Monsieur something or other, and, what's it, your names? Then there was, a meal for, someone. And the last one was definitely the thingamagummy something. You see? Yeah. Okay. Great. Yes. I see there are 1 or 2 holes in your memory. Oh, well, they were along those lines, I'm quite sure. Hope we get to call the snowman as a witness. Yes. I'm very sad Sholmes was not inside that snowman. There were indeed books found at the scene with titles along those lines, as you put it. Well, what did I tell you? So I think it's very mean the way you've been implying that my testimony can't be trusted. Don't you agree, darling? Oh my, okay. Yep. Anyone who upsets my Patricia will have me to answer to. Terrifying. Yeah, who let this man in with the fucking gun? Yeah, she really is. Yeah, 100% she did it. So that's it, is it? That's their entire testimony. Oh, I already read this. Okay, let's go through this. Okay. So I guess I'm presenting the book list, right?
So wait, are there 3? Hold on. How many books are in this photograph? There's also only 3 books in this photograph. Okay, the statement is specifically, I could even tell you the names of the 4. I don't know. I don't know if I should be presenting this or this. Because, I mean, most of the books she mentioned were actually roughly these books. I was wondering if they were going to be completely different books. I think...
Objection!
So you're saying that there were 4 books? That's right. I remember all of them. The picture of Monsieur Somebody, What's It Yearnings, A Meal for Someone, and the Thingamagummy Something. I'm sorry, misbeat. But there is a fundamental flaw in that statement of yours. Oh no. What? What flaw? Simply that at the scene of the crime? There were only 3 books, not 4. Get fucked. What? Have a good look at this photographic print of the scene of the crime. Look at this photograph! As you can clearly see, there's only 3 books. But no, that can't be. I saw them. Oh, I know what it is. Yeah, you can't fool me. Sorry? It's that big old lump of a dead body. The lady's so large her corpse is blocking the view of the 4th book, that's all. Let's at least try to remember that that poor woman isn't dead, even if we're insulting her size. No, I'm sorry, Miss Beat. But Mr. Natsumi could not possibly have dropped the 4 books you describe. Why not? Fascinating. And from your assured tone, somebody or something you can readily substantiate with evidence, I presume. Evidence. Yeah, I have evidence. Counsel, will you please present evidence to substantiate your claim or withdraw it? What proof do you have that the accused did not drop the 4 books? This.
Take that!
This receipt that we have. The evidence is right here, in the form of this bookshop receipt. From your books? Yes, this receipt details Mr. Natsumi's purchases that day. But as you can see, only 3 books are listed. No! Therefore, Mr. Natsumi would only have dropped 3 books at the scene of the crime. Which means that your powers of observation, madame, cannot be relied upon. Get a whiff of the bouquet of our testimony. Van Dix. Hate that guy. So it cannot be denied that though you say it was the defendant you saw, you could very well be mistaken. Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. No!
Objection!
Oh, here we go. It's plainly evident that it is your powers of deduction that cannot be relied upon, my learned Nipponese friend. What? What cannot be denied is that these 2 witnesses saw the accused running from the scene. A fact that you know very well you have no hope of disproving. Ah. So you've striven to avert attention from that by dint of some inconsequential discrepancies. Would that be fair? He sees right through me. But your plan has somewhat recoiled against you. What are you talking about? It's quite simple. Let me explain with a toast. To the policeman's wife and her entirely accurate testimony, in every respect. Oh! You see, the matter is not up for debate. At the scene on Briar Road, a total of 4 books were most definitely found.
Objection!
But what about the photographic print? It only shows 3 books. Quite right, only 3 can be seen in that print. That print? You mean to say that you were fucking withholding evidence? Fuck off. Oh my god. Allow me to present another. One that shows the victim's hand. Of course. I don't believe it. It's the 4th book. Yeah, but she's holding it in her hand! As you will observe. The 4th book was hidden from view in the original print by the victim's torso. No. No! Order! Order!
There, you see? You see? Look at that! Look, look, look!
Yes.
It's just like I said, isn't it, my darling?
Yes, sir. Patricia's always right, sir. Let us study the receipt for the books purchased by the accused on the day in question. Miss Beat, the titles once again, if you please.
Oh, yes, of course. The picture of Monsieur somebody or other.
The picture of Monsieur Lecoq.
What's it, yearnings?
Canterbury yearnings.
A meal for someone.
A meal for Gaborio, in fact. As the court has just heard, the witness remembers the book titles flawlessly, save for a few minor details. Miss Beat's power of recollection can only be described as exceptional.
Did you hear that, Rolly? The gentleman paid me a compliment.
Yes, sir! Flawless, sir! Patricia is flawless! But there's only 3 books on the receipt, and Miss Beat mentioned 4. There's nothing surprising about that. Clearly the 4th book is that which is shown in this photographic print. I'm sorry, Counsel, but does that not seem odd? Why should the 4th book be omitted from the receipt? It's not odd at all, my lord. As the photograph clearly shows, the 4th book was found in the victim's clutches. In other words, it belongs to the victim. The victim was holding her own book? I wonder, what became of that 4th book? Obviously, it wasn't overlooked by the investigating officers at Scotland Yard. I have it here as evidence. Uh-oh. Where'd they find it? Uh-oh. You will submit that and the aforementioned photographic print to the court. Please, counsel. My pleasure, my lord. Okay. The prosecution rests. I have nothing further to add. What? You seem surprised, my learned friend. Your resistance until now has been in vain. Entertaining, yes, but futile. The spurious longer route to the accused lodgings that you tried to establish in your summation examination, and the attempted discrediting of the witness's powers of recollection in your cross-examination. Futile? I walked right into this, didn't I?
You see, everything we've said is true. Isn't that right, my darling?
Yes, Pat! Marry me, Pat! Aren't they already... Okay. So perhaps the ladies and gentlemen of the jury would like to reconsider their positions? Should the court waste any more time on this Nipponese travesty? Or is the decision you have to make all too apparent already? You've heard all the witnesses and seen all the evidence. trial has run its course. Mr. Johnson, I'm afraid we're in a terribly precarious position. I know, but if I fight back in the wrong way now, I could very well just make matters worse. Think, Hamburger, think. What do you do now? Dude slept through his wedding? I mean, I believe it. I believe it. Hamburger's got himself in a pickle again. I always get extra pickles. I'm trying to figure out... I mean, I should probably raise an objection, right? There's no reason for me to wait and see. I don't think there's ever a reason for me to wait and see. Well, it looks like this book has been bitten or something. Hold on. Can we examine it? Oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh my god. I think we figured out why, Fuck, this is the book from the other fucking day. Oh my god, I just realized. In the fire? In the apartment? In the Garadeb's apartment? This is where that book is from. This was his favorite book or whatever. Mr. Moonman. Oh, look at this. The book's been badly burnt. You're right. You'd never be able to read it in this state, especially not the latter pages. What a terrible waste. Judging from the scorched edges of the paper, I think the damage must have occurred very recently. A book recently damaged by fire. Why does that seem to raise a red flag with me? Okay. His name is Mac tonight, yes. Thanks, Uchi. Thank you. Let me see. It's a book entitled The Lion's Pride. I'm afraid I don't know any English literature at all, so it wouldn't be something I've heard. Wait a minute. Lion's Pride? That's strange. I think I've heard of the book by that name before, and very recently, too. It's a title I recognize too, Mr. Johnson. Okay. I'm gonna raise objection.
Objection!
I'm not done yet. No, my learned friend. It's over. That last cross-examination was your final chance to establish a credible defense, and you failed. The die has been cast. There's no more room for debate. Well, it might be over as far as you're concerned, but... I can't think of what to say. If I may, Lord Van Zieks, it seems somewhat boorish to close down the debate at this point. Your insignificant little Eastern Isle must be a lawless hole indeed. Or a lowly oh my god, I can't fucking say this word. Judicial assistant? Judicial. Okay, thank you. And to have the audacity to intervene at a moment like this. Oh. You'll never become a lawyer if you can't say it. Very true. Very true. I am, to my shame, still a very inexperienced lawyer. So you'll have to forgive me, but I consider my assistant's advice essential and her opinions invaluable. Yeah, fuck off, Van Zieks. Mr. Johnson. One of this land's great guiding principles is tolerance. So... oh, is it? Oh, is it? Okay. So the court will hear you, madame. Go ahead, Miss Susato, please. Very well. Pray, what insignificant can you give us? Or sorry, what insight can you give us? What have we all overlooked in this matter that you see fit to pursue further?
Well, the court has been presented with new evidence, but only after the last cross-examination finished.
I see.
And you believe that this new evidence warrants further examination, do you? Mr. Johnson, what do you think? It's just possible that this new evidence might be the decisive proof we've been waiting for. The judge is sure to ask the members of the jury to announce their leanings in a moment. And of course, he's sure to ask you to explain what the crucial piece of evidence is and why. So we must take this opportunity to examine the newly presented evidence as thoroughly as possible.
I already did it! We already did it! Yes, I understand. And thank you, Miss Susato. This is it. Susato-san has managed to win us one last chance here. I can't let it go to waste. The defense wishes to present evidence, my lord. Very well. The defense may present one further piece of evidence. Evidence that apparently offers a profound insight into this case and has hitherto been overlooked. It's gonna be the book, right? It has to be the book.
Take that!
The evidence in question is what we can see from the newly presented photographic print of the crime scene. The fourth book, found in the victim's hand.
Objection!
We have already discussed the fourth book at length. Other than it being in the victim's grasp at the time of the incident, no significance has been attached to it. Pursuing the matter further would be a flagrant waste of the court's time, as you well know. Yes, I'm afraid, counsel, I must concur with the prosecution on this matter. When I afforded you this opportunity, you led the court to believe that the evidence in question contained a hitherto undiscovered clue. So I must insist you elaborate, counsel. You will identify this clue at once. Do I make myself clear? Oh, yes, my lord. It's,
Mr. Johnson, I believe the prosecution's trying to avoid a thorough examination of the evidence. Which means you may well be on the right track.
I think you might be right. So, counsel, precisely where is the vital clue to this case in which this fourth book conceals? It's the burn mark, right? Right? I don't think it's the name, right? It's gotta be the burn mark?
Got it!
Yes, Susato to the rescue, exactly. MVP. I would ask the court to observe the back of the book in question. The back? What do you... Ooh, good gracious. The book's brain is exposed. Thanks, Uchi. This is very good. It's been burnt to a crisp. So we have to ask ourselves, why was the victim clutching what is clearly an unreadable book? It's undeniably an extremely unnatural thing for her to have been doing.
Objection!
Unnatural, you say? And what of it, my Nipponese friend? Oh. Were I to concede the point, if it bears no relation to the case, there is nothing to discuss. So, should you wish to assert that this fire damage is some veiled clue as to what happened that day, pray, do enlighten us all. What truth does this charred book hide? A charred book. There's just one possibility here, which I can't quite bring myself to rule out. It's an outside chance, certainly, but it's worth a try. Alright, I'll explain my theory. Don't keep us waiting any longer then, counsel. Explain this theory of yours. What are you suggesting you can ascertain from the fire damage this storied tome has suffered? Its owner. My lord. The burn on the back of this book reveals a startling truth. About the book's owner. I beg your pardon?
But we already know who the book belongs to. The victim was gripping it in her hand as she fell to the floor. After all, it's obviously hers.
The question of how this book came to be in the victim's hand has yet to be answered. However, as to the questions of who the book really belongs to and where it originated, the defense has very credible answers. Good gracious, how can you possibly... Very well. I'll play along with this futile attempt to delay your inevitable demise. But do remember, the members of the jury may well burn you if your little gamble goes awry. Counsel, the defense's response here is very likely to influence the final outcome of this trial. So tell the court, who do you claim is the owner of this burnt book? Mr. Moonface. John Garadeb. Half Moon. Mac Tonight.
Take that!
The answer is that the book belongs to the couple who owns the house where the defendant has his lodgings. A certain Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb. The landlords? And whether this is some extraordinary coincidence or some kind of fate at work, I don't know, but... Of all the people in London, one of the 6 chosen for jury duty in this courtroom today is none other than Mrs. Garadeb herself. Oh. Oh my goodness. Me? I think you must be mistaken, sir. I'm not Mr. Garadeb's wife. I am his maid. Things would be so much easier if you would just drop the pretense. All right then. How about a simple question for you? Have you ever seen this book in Mr. Garadeb's house? I would never presume to know all of the books he keeps, sir.
Objection!
It's hard to believe they evolve into Gyarados, but who am I to question a Pokemon with guns? Oh my god, that just made me think of the thing from earlier today with the gun Pokemon game. That I've already forgotten. Oh, Pal World. Pal World? God damn it. This is outlandish behavior. This woman is the accused landlady, you say. You implicate this hard-working member of the public? You blah, 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 blah. You besmirch her without a shred of evidence? Your actions are unforgivable.
Objection!
Squeeze! This is not mere conjecture. The defense happens to know that on the day in question, at almost exactly the same time as the victim was stabbed on the pavement below, another incident was taking place in the room on the top floor of Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb's house. Good lord! What sort of incident, counsel? A fire, my lord. Afraid to say it was. Happened in the blink of an eye, you know. The whole place filled with smoke. Couldn't see a bally thing. Didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. The bally furniture started going up as well. Worst of it is, I lost my favorite book. Called The Lion's Pride. Oh shit, he's doing a fucking JoJo pose. That's a JoJo pose if I've ever seen one. Isn't that Dio's pose? Isn't that Dio's pose? Hold on. The Lion's Pride. By Jove, that's the very same title that's the subject of this debate.
Oh, dear me.
Yeah. This is risible. Something like that. All you've told the court is that a book by the same name was involved in a fire. In which case, it would be reasonable to assume that it was burnt to ashes. And entirely unreasonable to infer that it magically removed itself to the scene of the crime. Perhaps it would make more sense if I told you that the cause of the fire was, marital discord. Without going into details, it appears that Miss Garrideb was considerably enraged. Apparently, she continued to attack Mr. Garrideb, even amid the flames.
Oh, how awful! I can't even imagine being so horrid to the one you love. Can you, Rolly?
Absolutely not, sir. My Patricia would never raise a finger against me, sir. I mean, like, I just literally saw, like, 20 minutes ago what she was doing to him. I had all my favorite novels in the case, but as soon as the fire got hold of them, that was it. Whoosh, up in smoke. Then the wife started hurling things at me. There was I, back up against the window under heavy enemy fire. Incendiary books incoming 10 to the dozen. The man had his back up against the window, and he had burning books thrown at him. Goodness gracious, are you suggesting that the book was thrown through a window and launched coincidentally at the scene of the crime? Coincidentally. Landed coincidentally at the scene of the crime?
Objection!
So did she also fucking throw at the knife? Like, she clearly threw a knife and hit that woman in the back, right? That's what's happening here? Did we solve the case? Done? No, a thorough investigation of the surrounding area was conducted the very evening of the incident, and there is no report of the Garrideb's window pane being broken. That's quite true. We also saw no sign of broken glass when we visited the Garrideb household. Yeah, I would be happy to. I hope it's her. I hope she gets what's coming to her. But it was not conceivable that the window was open at the time or is it not conceivable that the window was open? Not even remotely. Let us not forget the season and the chilling weather that accompanies it. No Londoner would ever leave a window open in the middle of winter. I mean, if your apartment was filling up with smoke, why wouldn't you be over there opening up the window? Does the defense postulate the scenario in all seriousness, counsel? Do you earnestly claim that the book found at the scene was a flaming projectile thrown by Mr. Garrideb's wife? I believe it's a possibility, my lord. That's quite enough. I don't know who's saying that. Is it the fucking maid? Of course it is.
Well, I hope that everyone can see you for what you are now, you little foreign trickster. You call yourself a lawyer, but you're just a coward. A mean coward.
Really?
Claiming that our little tiff set the whole neighborhood alight. Honestly. Implying that I'm merely posing as a maid for appearance's sake? How could you? It's nothing to do with this beastly case, not any of it. All you've done is sully our family's name.
No, I assure you, that was never my intention.
Dragging an upstanding citizen's name through the mud simply to divert attention from your failing defense. I should box your ears, that's what I should do. It's utterly unforgivable.
Too right. Here we go. How long have we sat here now, listening to this Nipponese spouting out his fancy foreign theories? But, think about it. At the end of the day, the only person who could possibly have stabbed the victim is that little hunchback with a mustache, and he ran away from the scene, too.
I do declare that you're right.
It's true.
Yes, what did I tell you?
Makes sense to me. Sorry, what's that? Well, it would appear that the ladies and gentlemen of the jury are once again in full agreement. What is your position, Lord Van Zeeks? He's gonna pour himself a bunch of fucking blood wine again. Stay hydrated, everyone. In truth, my lord, I feel these have been unnecessarily protracted proceedings. But then one must always exercise patience in order to savor the best vintage. No, wait. The mystery of the fourth book still hasn't been... I fucking forgot that he has this fucking pose. It's so rude. If books are your predilectish... I have no idea how to pronounce this word. Predilection? My learned friend, study them on your own time. What? No, forgive the discourtesy this time? In any case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will now state your individual decisions regarding the defendant's culpability for the court to hear.
Guilty!
Guilty.
Guilty!
Guilty.
Guilty! Guilty!
Predilection? Predilection? Thank you for that unambiguous response. It's twice now. It's over. Mr. Johnson, don't give up. Miss Susato? Have you forgotten? The battle isn't over yet. You're not suggesting... Of course. The defense has the right to another summation examination at this point. You could still convince the jurors to change their minds. You have one more chance. My lord. The defense asked to exercise its right to summation examination. Huh. You believe you still have tricks up your sleeve? I don't intend to trick anybody. I intend to uncover the truth. This is no time to be downcast. As long as there's a chance, I have to stay strong and determined. Oh. Okay. I knew it was gonna end soon. I figured it was gonna end soon. But I didn't realize it would just, like, cut like that. That's cool. That's cool. Okay. I mean, sure. I want the very last case to run like this. Only Susato goes, hold it. I'll take it over from here. Oh, God. I would love that. Okay, well, that's great. My voice is getting very tired. Save. I didn't take my last break because I knew we were getting close to the end. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna hold off. So no. No, we did not take a break. But I'm probably gonna end stream, actually. But yeah. There'll be more of this next week. Next week. I'm pretty sure the last part is the final part of this case. Or the next part is the final part of this case, so... I'm interested to see, what's gonna happen here.